Yes, this video is left field. No, this is not about baseball. It's about golf. Now, if you hate golf, I've got to ask you this. Why are you watching this video? Moving to southern Missouri is the best thing I've ever done for my family. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. And I say that because sure enough, with almost every video, I get the person that's like, I hate this thing. And I just don't understand. Then, kick rocks and don't watch the video. Hate it or love it, golf is blowing up in southern Missouri. I had no idea. I thought of this video and I was like, I think there's like a handful of country clubs and golf courses. Like that would be a good video. And then as I looked into it, I'm not even going to be able to touch on half of the golf courses in the state. So I'm going to really hyper focus on, South Central Missouri because there is so much in our state. And I admit, I know very little about golf. My whole life I've wanted to play. It's something I still haven't done yet. It's on the bucket list. It's gonna happen. But forgive me for golfers out there that watch this. Forgive me. I'm gonna sound like an idiot, but it's in my heart. The love for the sport is in my heart. And the game seems simple enough. Unlike your IQ, you don't want to end in the 3 digits. But here's what I love about it. The more people I talk to, the more people I hear about who end with terrible scores, and they love the game almost as much as the competitive athletes, maybe more.
So what'd you end up with?
102. What you end up with?
110. Same time next week?
Let's do it.
And you know what, now that I think about it, there's only a few sports that are really like that. Like if you think about, I don't know, volleyball, maybe? Like if someone was not good at volleyball, but they enjoyed playing it, like it'd just be kind of something that they did on the side, they played, they knew that they weren't very good. But like golf is like, it's a passion provoker. It's like, there's something special about golf. I think it's like deeply, maybe it's ancestral, but it moves people on a level that a lot of amateur sports don't. And I don't know enough about it to know if Missouri is known as like a golf destination, but in my mind it should be. After doing this research, I think that we have some of the creme de la creme courses. So we're going to start off in Springfield. And I would say Springfield has a pretty diverse scene of country clubs and golf courses. I actually did already look into some of the country clubs there because we've just been kind of feeling it as a family. Like, well, one, we love pickleball, and pickleball has also like become part of the scene of country clubs. And like one of our favorite things to do is just playing pickleball as a family, especially with like older folk who just completely annihilate us. It's just awesome. And I gave birth not too long ago. I'm not in the best shape, but my husband and I, we're sort of athletes. We used to be athletes, and you would think that we could hold our own in pickleball against like 70 and up, and we can't. And I think it will be the same thing with golf, which I just love. Like apparently for us, like we love the sports where you just get absolutely creamed by senior citizens. I think it's good for your soul. Have some respect for the elders. So in Springfield, there's Highland Springs, there's Twin Oaks, Hickory Hills, Springfield Golf and Country Club, and Bill and Payne Stewart Golf Course. Now, I am clearly no expert, but I've talked to a lot of people, and I definitely noticed that on most of the golf courses and country clubs description of themselves, they talk about how challenging the courses are, and it's something that I've heard from other players as well. And I'm just curious, and please drop me a comment if you know anything about this. Is it because of our topography? I'm just thinking that, we have very dynamic, very hilly topography, and to me, I'm wondering if that is what is making the courses so challenging, or is it just the way they're designed? So to briefly talk about Highland Springs, it is a little bit unusual because it is not just a country club, but also a private gated community. And it's not small by any means. It's over 600 acres. And they also attest to the fact that they've got this really diverse and rugged topography, from super hilly to beautiful flat, almost bottomland, beautiful outcroppings of limestone, and nice mature timber all the way through as well. And each one of these courses in Springfield have their different claim to fame, usually involving either Arnold Palmer or Payne Stewart, or they're designed by one of the golfing greats. And what I found mostly for Southern Missouri is, and this isn't totally true because there's definitely those like mid-level courses, but there's a lot of really primo courses, and then I would say another chunk that get reviews that liken them to cow pasture or goat ranches. Now, I'm going to assume that in the golfing world, being called a goat ranch is not a good thing, but it is questionable considering that goat caddies is on the rise. And that's not a joke. So there are two in Republic, Island Green Golf Course and then Eagle Crest Golf Course. And I want to admit that Eagle Crest has some of those reviews that liken it to like more like a dairy farm than a reputable course. But I'm gonna assume like you golfers would know the difference. So moving down to Ozark, down and over, we've got Millwood Golf and Racquet Club, and what's cool about them is they are family owned and operated, and they bought the business and have just been trying to evolve it and build upon it, and they seem to be getting great reviews now, so I think that family's doing good work. Before continuing south, I need to talk about one of the nicest courses in Southern Missouri, and that is in Bolivar. And here's where it's a little ironic, is that Silo Ridge Country Club actually was a dairy farm, but it is not a laughing stock, and no one's making jokes about it because it is now one of the most reputable country clubs with an 18-hole championship course that everyone seems to think is one of the best for sure. And actually what's cool is they have this iconic silo, one of the original silos when it was a dairy farm, and that still sits at the 9th green. And yeah, it's obviously where it got its name. Kind of in between Clever and Nixa, we have Hidden Valley Golf Links, and they are also an 18-hole. They pride themselves in their Bermuda grass fairway and tee boxes with bent grass greens. I feel like I'm ordering a smoothie. Just joking. I noticed this is pretty common. So Bermuda grass fairways, and then the tee boxes are bent grass. So I'm just gonna like guess here. Okay, so you golfers, I'm just guessing. I would think that Bermuda grass is maybe stiffer. Here's what I'm thinking, because I'm trying to think of how I see the grass cut too. I feel like Bermuda is gonna be coarser, and then you can cut it shorter and you can hit the ball farther on the fairway, okay? Leave me a comment if I'm getting somewhere. I'm thinking bent grass. We got tee boxes. I'm thinking that's where you hit the little like putts. I have no idea. I'm gonna learn. I'm just gonna assume that the tee boxes with the bent grass greens is like shorter hits, and the grass is softer, longer, and more supple, sort of. It's bent grass, I know that. I'll figure it out. I know the grass is super important. So it's like they have something in common with ranchers, because all y'all talk about grass. And then we're on to Saddlebrook, and Saddlebrook is definitely one of the like kind of premier, a little bit more of like retirement communities, golfing communities. And they've got two courses. They've got the Saddlebrook course and the Mountain View golf course. I think that the Mountain View is the one that's kind of more like beginner friendly. And this is something that I've learned. I will learn all the etiquette, that beginners are really a pain in everybody else's. Yeah. And I've gathered that it's because beginners take forever, And then there's like this terrible thing where like people who are impatient, who like actually play golf, will like start to hit their balls at you. I don't know, sounds like some crazy drama. So then there's Fremont Hills, and what I like about Fremont Hills is it's a nice central location, and you're gonna have a lot of people in that Christian County area that don't live in a gated golfing community, but that can still get that country club feel and play golf. And they say the same thing, you know, it's all about the Bermuda fairways and the bent grass greens. I'm gonna look into that. And as a beginner, for those that would be behind me that were impatient and clearly better and needing to go forward, first of all, just go ahead of me. And second of all, I probably will be embracing this attitude in general.
Doesn't matter.
How did you do that?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Dan, who's been Lamond?
Lamond?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
What's the line? Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
But maybe that's like an Australian attitude, because I feel like here in the States, like, people think it does matter. So of course, Branson West has Ledgestone, which is in Stone Ridge, and that is a very popular community. Lots of different housing options, from condos to some of the new builds are kind of like smaller mansion-y type homes, and gorgeous, like really beautiful stonework. There's some really nice new construction going on in Stonebridge. And what they talk about the course at Ledgestone, I think it is a lot about topography, but they talk about like the layout being very thoughtful and thought-provoking because of all the like sudden shifts in elevation and just like the dynamic layout of the course. And I guess if I would sum up my perception of what makes Southern Missouri courses special, it would be these drastic, hilly elevation changes and just the dynamic layouts that everyone keeps talking about. I really feel like they're speaking to our topography. Okay, so the list for Branson, we've got Branson Hills Golf Club, Point Royale, of course, which is another residential community, as well as the country club, Holiday Hills Golf Club, Thousand Hills Golf Resort, and Don Gardner Par 3 Golf Course. Just like Springfield, I mean, these are really a lot of really well done courses. I would say, just as you get closer to the lakes, you do have more of that dramatic topography. And so I believe you're probably going to see that more in Branson, but really it seems to be like the absolute climax once you get to Hollister and Ridgedale. Now, I could be wrong, and just potentially I'm just being dazzled by all of the beautiful aesthetic and the grandeur of everything that Johnny Morris touches, like the Bass Pro-ification of Southern Missouri. And yeah, that's true. I am dazzled by it. It's kind of mind-blowing. And as I've stated in other videos, I'm not a hater. I have heard, ironically, a lot of like critiques of Johnny Morris and people saying he's not a true conservationist and that he's just turned everything into profit. And like, yeah, and everything he does is gorgeous and the land looks amazing and like perfectly, I mean, it's beautiful. So I just don't have a problem with it. I guess I'd have to dig deeper into it. I'm sure some people from another state will find this video and tell me why they hate Johnny Morris. But here in Missouri, for the most part, people are pretty stoked with what he's done. So Johnny Morris has taken from a big part of Hollister down to Ridgedale. I mean, we're talking thousands upon thousands of acres, and turned it into like a nature retreat, country club, golfing paradise. I think the most expensive is Payne's Valley, and that one was like designed by Tiger Woods, and probably the place where I would annoy a lot of people who like actually know how to play golf and want to go through it pretty quickly. I think Buffalo Ridge is the more affordable one. And from what I've heard, a lot of people are like, it shouldn't be underrated. It's still an amazing course. But yeah, I mean, I would just be surprised if anything over there was not top notch. I'm gonna break them apart really quick. So in Hollister, so this is all Big Cedar Lodge. So in Hollister, we've got Ozark National Golf Course, Payne's Valley Golf Course, Mountaintop Golf Course, and Buffalo Ridge Springs Golf Course. And because Big Cedar Lodge is so massive, it actually goes into Ridgedale. And at Ridgedale, you have Top of the Rock Golf Course, which in my mind has the most gorgeous pictures. Like, I just want to play golf to be on that course. Is that weird? Like, can there be those of us that, yeah, like I actually think I'd really like golf, but like I just really like the courses too. So that's actually like literally probably 40% of why I want to play golf is just to be on the courses. Another 20% is wanting to ride in a golf cart. 10% is wanting to try the food. So really only like 30% is me actually wanting to play golf. So Top of the Rock was designed by Jack Nicklaus, and he seemed to be a very like inspirational figure in golfing history and design. And yeah, I think like his main thing was he just wanted to see people live passionately, and he truly believed that golf was the way to access this passion. I think that's one thing that's so special about golf is a lot of people, like if you go and start searching on YouTube and look for videos about how to play golf, like about half of them are going to be about mindset and passion and, you know, all of these psychological hacks and soul searching components. And it's very interesting because I don't really feel like I've ever seen that in any sport before. And I've played a lot of different sports. I considered myself an athlete for most of my life. And there's something special about golf. And it seems, I can't remember exactly how it's said, but that golf is something like 10% physical skill and 90%, you know, mental strength. And I like that. I actually like to pursue things that are like that. And that was actually one of a quote that one of my primitivist friends, Jose, who did that TV show Alone, which everyone who wins that show talks about at the end, it is all mental. But he always talked about survival becomes so much more of a mental battle than it is about, you know, making, you know, bringing the right gear and making the correct tools, that it really becomes just a battle between you and your mind. And that seems to be what golf is. So when I go, I probably am just going to be visualizing, like whether it's taking that ball super far or just a little bit, I'm going to be visualizing it and feeling it in my entire being. We'll see. We'll see how that does me. So for all of you golfers out there, eventually you'll see me on these courses. I'll be annoying you, but don't get mad. Just cut in front of me. I don't care, you know? And I have a feeling that I'll be loving every minute of it. Awesome, you guys. Thank you for sticking around to this video. If you got any value from it, like and subscribe. That always helps the channel grow. And as always, all my information is in the description. Give me a call, text, email. We can set up a Zoom. And I would love to discuss how I can help you make the best move of your life, which is definitely to Southern Missouri.